Happy Friday, YouTube. Today's Friday is June the 6th, and I'm reporting to you live from the East Coast. Unfortunately, our amazing New York Knicks fell short this time. An incredible effort that they made. I was looking forward to going to New York City and celebrating, at least at the bare minimum, if we at least even got to the finals. And we would have continued partying pretty much every time that they would play thereafter. New Yorkers were hyped and just like going crazy, and just that excitement, that energy alone is enough to just move and motivate you and make you want to just get out there and go crazy and party with them. So anyway, that didn't happen. They fell short, but that's okay. Better luck next year, maybe. I don't know exactly why they let go of Tom Thibodeau. That was a little strange, but I would imagine that must have been something that was in the making. Nonetheless, I'm not really here to talk to you about the New York Knicks. That is like such old news. But what I'm really here to talk to you guys about today is gonna be the mean girl, New York Attorney General Letitia James. Now, we're speaking about Letitia James because I did upload a short a couple days ago that kind of alluded to the fact that I'm going to be focused on Letitia James probably for the next few videos, who knows. It really all depends. And really, I'm coming to you today to discuss a matter that I don't think is really being discussed enough in terms of this fraud suit that's going on with alleged fraud with Letitia James. They're talking about mortgage fraud, right? We know that she had the Brooklyn property, that she said that there's 4 units when there's actually 5. The occupancy records show that there was private investigators that actually went there to confirm that. So that being factual, the fact that she said that she was going to be a resident of Virginia, or at least that the home that she got with her niece in Virginia was going to be her primary residence. You know that you can't hold a primary residence in Virginia and then be the New York State Attorney General as well. So there's that. And then there is also, of course, the oldest thing, which I think obviously no one's going to want to look into, her signing up and saying her father was her husband in like 1983 so they can get a home, which is just like super weird, but that's what happened. That's documented. I don't think they'll be able to hold that against her, maybe, or, you know, because it's dated and it's old. But when you look at behavior, what they observe is like patterns, right? For criminals, they usually engage in certain kind of patterns, and criminals engage in patterns like this essentially until they get caught, right? Until they get caught. And so this case is like blaring with so much hypocrisy, and we know why it's blaring with this hypocrisy because of the fact of the case that she brought against Donald J. Trump, which was a private transaction between him and a private actor, Deutsche Bank, and whoever the other lenders may have been. But it was a private transaction. It had nothing to do with public funds, taxpayer funds, which Letitia James, it did, because this came in the package of FHA loans. So what I'm here to talk to you guys about today has to do with insurance fraud. That's my cup of tea. So I don't think anyone's talking enough about the fact that Letitia James may have engaged in material misrepresentation, which is insurance fraud. And so just to break it down shortly about what's being alleged, the way a material misrepresentation is made, Let's just say even if you applied for life insurance, right? If you applied for life insurance, you said you're all healthy and all these things, even though there's ways for them to find out, right? There's ways for them to find out. But if there's some kind of material misrepresentation that you made about your health, and later on they find out that that's not the case, they can cancel your policy because it's considered fraud. And in commercial insurance, there's even a notice that you sign when you sign through the application process that's about fraud, that talks about fraud statements and like the fact that you can be prosecuted for that. So for example, okay, insurance fraud, material misrepresentation. Material misrepresentation is defined as false or misleading statements made by an applicant or policyholder that is significant enough to influence the insurers, meaning the carrier, whoever's providing you the insurance at the time, let's just say State Farm, right? It's significant enough to influence the insurer's decision to issue a policy, to determine coverage, to set premiums, or pay a claim. Okay, so when they're determining coverage, insurers have to determine what the risk is. What are we insuring, right? If they're setting premiums, that's going to be based on your exposure. You know, what's the value of what we are insuring? They have to make sure they're providing you with enough coverage that in the event of a claim, that you will be able to be indemnified, right? Made whole. Like, so if your house was worth $200,000, then they're going to make sure that they have to give you $200,000 back. They have to indemnify you for whatever it is that you lost during that process. So this is important. And here are the key elements of material misrepresentation. Number one, false statement. The information provided is inaccurate or intentionally omitted. So you left that information out. One example would be the Brooklyn property, right? You have 5 units, but you continue to report that you have 4 units. The insurance company is insuring a home, not a commercial property, which is essentially the avenue that you enter into once you have 5 units. Okay? Materiality, the misrepresented fact is important to the insurer's decision-making process. So that fact, this is key information. It's the reason why she qualified for the loan, is because she underrepresented. In fact, she didn't share that she had an additional unit specifically so she would be able to get lower rates, so she would be able to get more favorable terms. That also would reduce the percentage of her down payment that she would have to put down. So those things benefited Big Tish James, or as I like to call her, Letitia No Man James. Because trust me, if there was a man, if somebody was taking that down, she would not be that angry. She would not be that frustrated. But she's just like a raging bull. And that's because that's Letitia No Man James. But at the same time, too, maybe she don't got a man. You don't know what she has. But she definitely has a chip on her shoulder. Next, Reliance. The insurer relies on misrepresentation when issuing or maintaining the policy. So the insurer relied on that. Whatever information she gave, that essentially is the information that the insurance company used to provide coverage, to extend an offer. That offer had to do with the information that you provided. Letitia James provided. All right. And then the last part of is intent. Was this intentional? So intent is defined as for fraud. There is often intent to deceive, but even negligent misrepresentations can lead to consequences. So guys, the question is, can Letitia James be accused of insurance fraud? In her case, material misrepresentation. And I don't know if this is this is the unit of measure. There's a chance she can be, but we'll definitely have to find out. But shout out to Sam Antar. That's the guy who's like covering this thing, the Crazy Eddie guy. He's all over this. And if you don't follow him on X, check him out. He has lots of detailed information. He has research, and he continues to hammer away at this. I don't know what's going on with the appeal process in New York. I'll cover that in a future video. But all the videos that I'm going to be putting out from today here on, and as new develops show up, we'll be talking about Letitia James. And having said that, guys, I hope you're having an amazing week. Today is Friday. I think I'm going to make it a pizza night. I worked really hard today. I had to get myself together to get this video out to you guys. I wanted to make sure I did that. And I just want to say, have an amazing weekend, and I'll check in with you guys next week. All right? Bye.